Follow up, I harp on follow up. Have a system for following up. How you follow up, whether it's a phone call, whether it's a text, whether it's a Facebook message, whether it's a card, whether it's an e-card, find a point of difference that you can factor into your workflow, but following up is nice. Especially if you meet somebody and you promise them something. If you say, I'll get in touch with you and let you know about such and such, and then don't, what does that do to your credibility? But if you do follow up, they're going to think, great, she knows what she's doing, she's followed me up. If you go and collect business cards, I personally don't collect business cards first time round, because I end up with a whole handful, and then I have to get my virtual assistant to put them all in the database for me and everything, and then I have to try and remember what I'm doing with each one or whatever. I actually have a networking pad, and it's got a little place on the top you can staple the card to, and then I write notes on there, so she's putting into my data system exactly what I want to do with that person I met. But I'd rather try and remember the person and catch up with them for a coffee or a cup of tea and get their business card off them then, where it's more personal, not just collecting. And the reason I do that is because Steve and I used to have joint business cards for our financial planning business. It had Steve Culpitt, advisor, Janet Culpitt, business development manager. I would go and do the networking. I would get emails and phone calls. It was great to meet you yesterday, Steve. Didn't that? So your follow-up is important, and remember, if you're promising something, do it, but work out a follow-up that suits you. If you've collected a few business cards, put them in a little diary box or something and do one a day, one a week, one a month, whatever your time frame is. If it's people you want to follow up, follow them up. If they're people you don't want to follow up, you don't have to follow them up. Just be aware that you've met them, because you might cross paths again. And the time frame, that's your priority, depending what you've told that person. You might go to an event and there's just a whole tray of business cards, and you go along and you pick up all those cards. Now, who's had this happen to them? Then all of a sudden they're spammed. You're automatically on lists. It's actually against the law, but it still happens, and it will always happen. That's, again, it's a good time to follow up that person and just ring and ask them. Can you send them on your mailing list if that's what you've got? Or can you ask to go on theirs? I do have a template available. I haven't bought it today because you would end up with a whole heap more paper, and then I feel even worse with climate change. But I go through that. You can contact me and I can email it to you. I'd go through it on a group Skype call or a group Google Hangout, and I can do an individual one-on-one, provided I'm near you or you're near me on the Gold Coast. Or you can just work it out yourself and pick up the phone and talk to me, and we go through any questions. So it's just a very basic template, but it's really focused about what goals are available in networking and what things you should be looking for. Okay, how confident are you? And see, I keep coming back to confident, because a lot of people go to networking for fear of missing out. They're not learning anything, they just think they have to go because others go. It's no good just going if you're not getting results and if you're not confident to get those results. So how confident are you that you're taking advantage of all the opportunities that are available to meet a new contact? So it comes down again to opportunities. That's the key word there. Do you have a business card? Is it a paper business card, or have you got a photo of a business card on your phone? And then you don't have to remember to have everything in your handbag or whatever. You can text that business card to somebody that you meet. You're never stuck without a business card if you've got a photo of it in your phone, and it also gives you that person's contact numbers, because they're going to agree that they want you to contact them because they're going to give you their phone number. If you've got a point of difference showing on that business card, not just your name and your phone number, have a few different ways that people can contact you. These days, a lot of people prefer to contact you in different methods. I used to say to our clients, how would you prefer to be contacted, phone or email or letter? The number of clients that said email but they never check their emails. Well, why do you say email? Letter, not so much now. It's a bit of a rarity if someone wants you to write to them. But we have a lot of remote clients, and because we're in a very regulated and paper-heavy industry, we are forever posting out to a lot of people. But then I want to know their preferred method for me to make sure they've got it. Do I email them? Do I text them or whatever? So put a few different things on there, including Skype if you've got Skype, including Google if you've got Google. That gives people the choice, even if it's Facebook. If you want people to contact you with a Facebook message or a LinkedIn message, put it on there so they've got the link to your card that they can go through and reach you. Because more and more people want to check you out online before they get to know you face to face. And most people are online these days, like it or not. Have you got your introduction worked out? Now that's a big one. Have you prepared and practiced an intro? Does it have consistency yet ability to adapt so it doesn't sound like you're reading out a script or a rehearsed little play each time? Again, I've got templates available for you, which I'm happy to provide to you. Basically, you want it, people will call it an elevator speech, a pitch, 60-second soundbite, 30-second soundbite. You can go to some groups, they want you to have 3 minutes. I run a couple of networking groups for business ladies. The Heartlink Network, it's 3 minutes there. I also go to B for B, it's 60 seconds there. So you've got to have an introduction available, whether you're meeting someone at a conference or if you go somewhere and they ask you to stand up and talk about for 3 minutes. So something basic like this you can extend on. Your name, very good start. You normally don't get that wrong unless you're extremely nervous. And that is part of your point of difference, unless there's someone else in the room with that name. So use that as your point of difference until you determine. For me, I always wear a bright pair of glasses. That's me. So people will say, that's Janet Culpitt over there because she's got bright glasses on. They may not remember me, they'll remember me by the glasses. Obviously you want the name of your company or who you're representing. Do any of you network for people that you do virtual assistant work for? Okay. Oh, I'm glad I didn't bring my virtual assistant here with me today. She goes out and does it for me too. Or she does it for Arrow, sorry, she doesn't do it for me. How long you've been established for, years and months, that's giving you credibility. What your business provides, that can be services or it can be solutions to problem. We aim to provide our clients with a solution for, that's up for you to come up with. And an ideal introduction for me would be, you don't want this to be very generic. You want it to be very specific. You will start to get referrals that way. But remember, you're not just there to get a referral or a sale. If I would go and say, I'm a financial planner, our business is situated on the Gold Coast, our business provides wealth strategies for individuals, we aim to provide our clients with a solution for personal insurance or retiring early. And then if I say an ideal introduction for me is somebody who's earning an income, it's too open. They can't, unless the person I'm talking to says, oh, I want income protection insurance, then they're going to say. So I refine it right down. So you pick out your little avatar or your ideal client, and you can, that's the part you can change each time. Again, I'll go back to financial planning. If I want someone for income protection, I might say an ideal introduction for me is a carpenter looking to review his income protection insurance so he can make sure his claim at tax time's fine. So I've refined it right down. The next time it might be a bricklayer. The next time it might be somebody who's a bit more environmentally friendly. So you think of something a little bit different each time, but if you're going to a regular group, you may have to keep saying the same thing over and over again. They'll have different guidelines, so you follow that. Your point of difference is, this is where it's very important. You want to think of something that's not going to be, my point of difference is I wear bright coloured glasses. That's just my point of difference for people to notice me. Your point of difference might be that I've got a home-based office, I work with my husband, I only deal with individuals, I want to deal with people that have worked no longer than 5 years, I want to deal with people that have 5 years to retirement. So you're being, again, very specific, but it's giving whoever you're talking to a point of difference. And then you say your name again and your business again, because you've said it at the beginning, people will remember what you say at the end. So saying it again at the end, if you're in a, not if you're walking up and shaking someone's hand, you're not going to say, hi, I'm Janet Hyatt. and then, and I'm Janet, and off I go to the next person, because then they're going to think, well, she's a serial networker and I'm not going near her. Next time I see her, I'm not going there. But if you have to stand up at a proper event and anything and do that again. If you're in a group on LinkedIn or Facebook, you can use this sort of layout again, but only say your name once, because that, again, is getting a bit repetitive. So your business or position is important to you. However, you want it to be also important to others, and I just use this form so that I know how important I can be to others. So that's what the template's for. Not to say what's right and wrong, because you have to be able to introduce yourself that looks natural. If you come across false, people won't trust you. And the ultimate aim of networking with confidence is to be seen and people to know, like and trust you. Once people know, like and trust you, they're going to want to deal with you. People will refer to people, not necessarily to a business. How confident are you that your business needs will be represented at needs to be represented at networking functions? This is very applicable for online or at a face-to-face function. Keyword here, representation. Like I said before, many people have the fear of missing out. They'll see that there's a lunch on in their area, got to go because I know 5 other people are going, and they go every month or they go every week. So off they toddle, and then if you ask them what did you get out of that, they'll say nothing. Until they've got everything else that we've been through before down pat, and it might be you're going to a wrong group. If the group's only there, and I'm going to give an example of the Gold Coast, and there's nothing wrong with this group, I love all the people that go, but it's all about alternative health. Not a lot of those alternative health people want financial planning because they think their whatever is going to make them, it's called healthy net wealthing. So if they're healthy in themselves and they're fit and whatever, abundance will come to them. If I stand up and talk about financial planning, you can see them glaze right over. They do have a need for it because they all are making good money and they are all going to want to retire one day, and something could happen to them and their universe may not cover them for that where insurance would, but it's not where I need to be represented.